Damn. Hey, yo. Who's in your newsfeed? Dyze in your newsfeed. What is the word, peeps? What goes on? Jay Porks here, coming to you back another Friday. We're on YouTube. We're all home. And figured I'd live stream, prepare everybody for tomorrow's episode of the podcast. For those who are going to tune in the next few moments, I do not have the chat open. It's distracting for when I want to say things. So let's just... How's everybody doing? Mental health check. We good? Sucks. We're all home. This is some different stuff. This is some different stuff that we never thought we'd be experiencing. So everybody's probably gonna take it differently. And listen, we just need to stay healthy and wash our hands and just wear a mask and don't be one of those people that's like, oh, I know everybody's doing this, but I'm gonna be the opposite. Don't be me with TV shows. That's like, don't ask me if I've watched Tiger King. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do the thing that's against the grain just because you think it's cool. It's not cool to die. Don't drink fucking Lysol. Do I really? So, like, when 2016 happened, and I was like, guys, this isn't good. You guys crazy? You guys know what you're doing? Do you guys really know what you're doing? I wouldn't have thought we'd be being told to drink Lysol injected into our veins. I didn't know that. Had I known that, I would have told you, like I was telling everything else. It's crazy, man. We've never in our life experienced something like this. And, listen, we're all not scientists, right? But Facebook has a pool of people that stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. And I'm not here to talk about people's parents. Like, if somebody thinks that the virus isn't as bad and they are mad that they would send their kids to school, I'm not here to question anyone's parenting. But no buts. I'm not here to question anyone's parenting. I'm here to question behavior. And for the whole country, for the most part, to be locked down, and medical experts saying that that's the way to go, I find people on Facebook, oh, the hysteria. Look at this study from the Washington Times. Look at this story from the Washington Examiner. Look at this story from insert random right-wing rag here. Look at this story. The numbers show differently. The numbers aren't as bad. Now, again, people can have their opinions, but these are people that were on my team in 2016 saying, yo, you guys can't do this. And now these same people are like, well, the left is a power grab. Oh, the left? Power? Where? Where is it? The left don't have power? We try. We don't do shit. The left. So, like, if you want to hear new rule. If you don't want to piss me off, have all your thoughts about the virus you want. As long as you preface them with Jay, don't worry. I'm voting Democrat in November. As long as you do that, I don't care if you can go outside. I don't care. I don't care what your feelings are. Just don't let a virus that only popped up because of irresponsible leadership, don't let that somehow morph you into not voting Democrat. This is not a Democrat thing. Okay? If it was up to Democrats, we'd all be getting $2,000 a month. You didn't get that. We got a lot of people that are going to be out of work because of this. And listen, don't get it twisted. I want to go back to work. I know I'm like lazy and stuff, but like, no, this is I views and opinions expressed on my podcast, but I want to go back to work. Being in the house, it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy to sit here all day. I try to walk a mile or two a day. I try to get into routines. I try to learn things, whatever. I've tried to sit in on online classes. I can't. Not sit in, like do the assignments. Is anyone in the stream? I'll check the chat now. Nobody's in the chat. Good. Not good, but usually when I'm talking and somebody gets in the chat. Oh, you know what? Should I tell Twitter that I'm live? I probably should tell Twitter I'm live, right? Wow. It actually started playing. I'm there. I don't want to be here. Copy link. Bada boom. Bear with me, everybody. So I'm going to probably do this every Friday. I want to do this more often during the week, but Friday seems to be where it falls. So we got a brand new episode of the podcast every Sunday morning. SoundCloud.com/Dyze in your house. And that's where you'll view listen every new episode of Dyze in your house. And you can go to patreon.com/JPorks. I don't know why I say forward slash, it's just slash. Patreon.com/JPorks. And that's where you'll get the podcast as well. And you become a East Coast Radiohead there and check out all of the cool offers that are offered. At the end of the month, I have some stuff going out to the East Coast Radioheads, to my patrons, to my patrons. Why don't you join us? All right. Live on YouTube if anybody wants to hang. Let's see if anybody wants to hang. I don't think anybody wants to. So what do you guys want me to do? So as we hang. So a lot of people have questions about what's going on behind me. I used to have the flag behind me when I did the podcast on my bed. Now we have the Tower of Kicks, along with the Public School Made Me sticker. Elizabeth Warren, Elizabeth Warren's brother died of coronavirus. I think yesterday, day before. R.I.P. Died in Oklahoma. Served in the Air Force. I will not be a side sitter. So, wait a minute. I'm sorry, Stephanie Rule. I love all the money you talk about, but you're not on my podcast. That's not my podcast. That's my video stream. Okay. We got the chat popped out, so it doesn't distract me. If anybody wants to hit up the chat, they could, but I'm just, basically. Yes, that my shirt says New York over everything, and it's an everything bagel. Yeah. Look, I know everybody wants to get back to normal life, but we can't, for a second, try to pretend that, we can't be so hell-bent on getting back to normal life that Trump gets off the hook with this. Lysol had to put out a statement that said, do not inject Lysol. Do not inhale Lysol. Now, you've all seen, and if you haven't, the corona test, it's a long-ass freaking Q-tip that they stick all the way up your nose, all the way to the back. That shit looks hard and annoying as fuck. Pause. But at the same time, if there was an opportunity to spray my lungs with some sort of medical disinfectant that wasn't isobutane alcohol or something? Why not? Of course we do it. It's just like when we see commercials for diet pills, you know? Oh, well, this is magic. If it's so magic, why doesn't everybody do it? If this was so magic, they'd be at our door with it. Well, if this was so magic, CVS and Dwayne Reed would have them at the pharmacy right now, like where you get the flu shot. I can't believe I even have to explain that. But we had a Department of Government that would have been ready for pandemics. Their office was in the White House. That's what Joe Biden said anyway. Their office was in the White House. And they were set up. And Biden says that when they were telling Pence and Trump about pandemic, they didn't have no interest in that. They didn't care. And now look at this. Do not for 1 second, deride the left or liberals or Democrats for anything that's going on right now in the country when it comes to keeping people healthy and stuff like that, because the party that wants to keep people healthy and alive is Democrats, not Republicans. So when you're on Facebook sharing misinformation, just understand that you're creating a danger for the next, we could end this. And if you look at all of the betting lines, we have a really good chance of ending this. Biden's up in Florida, dude. I know. Listen, I've made a thing where, as a Democrat, Florida is not something that I count on. I've been let down by Florida too many times. Thanks, Ralph Nader. Appreciate you, except I don't. Except I don't appreciate you at all. All right. Anybody else want to come hang out? No? Uh-oh. That sound of Facebook Messenger is never good. Anyhow. All right. Guys, we got to stay safe. We got to stay healthy, and we got to stay sane. And the way we're going to do that is by, listen, if you need to leave the house, wear a mask. Try to stay 6 feet from people. And that's really, no one's saying that we want to be locked. Listen, nobody wants to be locked up. Nobody wants to be locked in the house. Nobody wants to do this forever. I know there are some people that might have jobs where they don't mind having some time off. I'm not one of those people. This is not something that is it for me at all. So I would love if, scientists would listen, like when people are sharing they didn't think the virus was as bad as it is. I wish it wasn't. Like, nobody is commenting on that saying that you're being irresponsible because they don't want it to be true. Everybody wants this thing to be overblown and overhyped. Everybody in the world. There is not one person that does not want this to be overblown and overhyped. We had a department of the government whose job it was. Scientists, doctors, researchers. They were a team determined to check out what-if scenarios medically with pandemics, diseases, viral infections, all that stuff. In 2018, that department defunded and disbanded. And we also have a Space Force. Not one of those things did the left do. So maybe if your Cheeto Jesus would have more faith in science, maybe if he would have kept the scientists on the payroll, there's a possibility that maybe they would have been like, hey, listen, this isn't so bad. Or hey, maybe we could do this. maybe there would have been more options. But instead, now you have campaign rallies every day in the press room where the leader of the free world gets on television and tells people to drink Lysol and inject disinfectant into your lungs. This is not hyperbole. I'm not making up these things that were said. This is what was said. So, I'm a side sitter now. Anyone watch Better Call Saul? If you don't, you should. Department of the government that we had till 2018 defunded and disbanded. That's the reason why you're home. Not anything liberals did, not anything Democrats did, not anything that Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, none of those people, none of this has to do with them. The Squad, Medicare for all, it has nothing to do with this. Welfare reform, criminal justice reform, women's rights. There's nothing to do with any of that. Nothing. It's simple. Hire people to do the job. Easy peasy. All right. Before I get up on out of here, let me let everybody know you can go to soundcloud.com/DyzeInYourHouse to get every episode of Dyze in Your House. There'll be a new one out Sunday morning, I believe. That's what we aim for these days. Try to keep a routine. That's what you got to do. And Patreon the next day. Well, if you're a Least Coast Radiohead, you'll get it immediately. It'll come out before the SoundCloud. But that's only for Least Coast Radioheads, and you guys can read about that if you want to do that. Follow me on Twitter @JPorks. You get a lot of moods there. You get the happy, you get the sad, you get the frustrated, you get the energetic. It's a lot of different moods there, and you'll get them all at @JPorks on Twitter. Also, Instagram. I mean, if you want to follow me there, @Dyze in Your House. That's my Snap too. Dyze in Your House. Keep it locked to those channels, and you can, sometimes I go live on IG, sometimes I go live on Twitter. Live on Twitter the other day. Had a couple of people see. I was thinking I should go live on Twitter after this, but I've just been here for a while. Pop-out chat is still empty. Nobody wants to hang out with me. It's 9 in the morning. It's raining out. It's trash. Luckily, I have a raincoat. It's not stopping my walks. I don't have rain sneakers. No, I was looking for the rain. Okay, no problem. I got slides. You good? All right, so we're gonna have a new podcast on Sunday. It's probably gonna talk about this relief bill, $484 billion, printing money. So out of this new phase of the relief bill, how much money does each American get? Just wondering. Because the $1,200, I see plans. I see like that the way economists say, like, first of all, in Europe, when they made everybody stay home, everybody stayed on the payroll until they had to go back to work. So there should be a way that we could do that for every company in America. That should most certainly be a thing. And there's no way it shouldn't. Also, I believe that New York, the new infection rate is trending downward, which, not fast, but it's trending downward. And if we get 14 days of downward trending, We can start talking about opening up things. And I'm not saying that we're going to be eating in restaurants. That's crazy. But like, if you want to go get a pair of sneakers, like, I don't see why you can't go in a store if everybody's got a face mask and you got a face mask and everyone's practicing social distancing. I don't see any reason why that can't be a thing. But we can't rush anything, because if we rush, then we're going to be back here again. So it's tough. I mean, and you could share all the articles you want on Facebook. I would just ask you to, if you're gonna go out there and spread misinformation, just tell us where you stand. Because of all this hype, because Trump caused massive job loss and massive death, do you somehow blame the left? Is that something that Democrats did? It's not. And what about the warnings in December? What about the warnings in January? What about the Joe Biden op-ed in January that said this is going to get worse? What about that? Crazy. So I don't want nothing the left. It's not the left. I have somebody watching, but the chat is hidden. The chat there. Twitter.com/jporks. Instagram is jporks. Snapchat. No, I'm sorry. We'll start that over. Follow me on Twitter @jporks. Follow me on Instagram @DyzeInYourHouse. Follow me on Snapchat, DyzeInYourHouse. SoundCloud.com/DyzeInYourHouse for the podcast every Sunday, every weekend. And of course, Patreon.com/jporks. If you want to become a East Coast Radiohead, get early access, personalized artwork sent to your house, shout it out on the podcasts, have input on the podcast, all that stuff. You can become a East Coast Radiohead. And if you go to SoundCloud, if you're listening on SoundCloud and you see the support the creator button, if you support that creator, which would be me, all of this, all money raised from my SoundCloud, a substantial portion of it will go to a charity of the choosing of my Twitter followers. We will go on Twitter and I will ask, which charity do we want to give it to? Either a charity that's really being rock stars right now, or a charity that like people aren't really, maybe we're not enough people are giving to this charity right now. They're giving to that. All right, we'll do that. My Twitter followers are going to decide where any money raised gets sent. But right now it's not much, so we're not going to send it. But we should do, this is the time to help people. If you want to be a part of helping something, if you want to be a part of building instead of bullshitting, this is what we do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to turn positives to negatives. We're going to turn negatives to positives. We have to. It's all we can do. Whoa. Pause. Al Franken is on TV. They let him out? Are there any... They let Al Franken out? I can't believe they let Al Franken out. Did they ask Kristen Gillibrand about this? All right, I gotta stop. It's not nice. I stand by. There should have been a damn ethics investigation. Let them have the investigation. That's all I'm saying. Frank is a smart guy too. Sucks that he had to be so fucking stupid and do that shit. It's a shame, because he was like the rock star. And it's exactly what we would need right now, TV star. I'm just saying. Especially with COVID and everyone's doing it from home. Oh my God. Crazy. Can't believe they're allowed. I think that's the first time I've seen Al Franken like on TV at all. Anyhow, that was just weird. And Pelosi's going to be on MSNBC at noon. She's got a cool face mask scarf going. It's fucking lit. It's fucking badass, yo. Okay, what anybody says. All right, nobody in the chat yet. Okay, nobody's in the chat, so I'm bouncing. SoundCloud.com/DyzeInYourHouse. Help the creator. We're donating this money. We're helping people, okay? That's what we're doing. We're helping people. SoundCloud.com/Dyze in your house. You'll go to Patreon.com/JPorks. Follow me on Twitter at JPorks. Follow me on Instagram at Dyze in your house. Until Sunday, where there's going to be a brand new episode of Dyze in your house exclusively on Least Coast Radio. You'll go to SoundCloud.com/Dyze in your house. Until then, JPorks, Dyze in your house, exclusively on Least Coast Radio. End.